Today's episode is brought to you by the Ahoy 5000, the new phone by Ahoy. Have you ever looked at your phone and thought, what is this? It's got no numbers on it. Well, you wouldn't be alone. With the Ahoy 5000, you can have up to 20 individual numbers on your phone. So that means I'm talking about each 1 to 20 has its own button on your phone. And it is the largest, thickest, heaviest phone on the market. And that can only mean one thing, and that is luxury. So Ahoy 5000, where making calls is making progress. Welcome to On The Record with me, Des, and Jeff is here as well.
Hi everyone, on the record. And it's fun to think, I think sometimes, how we're going on the record on these classic albums.
Yeah, we're pressing record.
If somehow, all of the music was deleted in some sort of weird post-apocalyptic future, that people could actually go and listen to these recordings that we're doing, and from our insightful analysis and review, could actually reconstruct in the future all this classic music that has been lost through this post-apocalyptic disaster. They could, thinking back, last week we were talking about Queen. They could reconstruct Bohemian Rhapsody, so they could have almost that same listening experience that we've enjoyed today. And so hopefully we can do the same today for another classic album.
Yes. And today we're going to be talking about David Bowie's Low.
Great.
And
low.
Sorry?
I think it's pronounced low.
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 Okay.
Like the noise a cow makes.
Low. I've never heard a cow go low. One time I was at his birthday and I was a bit late. You see, I was a bit late. And it was in full swing. And anyway, I came in. And everyone stopped and looked round and they were like, oh, it's Des. And, Bowie came over and he was like, I've told everyone, no, don't keep the party, stop the party until he turns up and then the party can start. But obviously
wow.
he knew.
Yeah.
And, and then I got there and, we just had this like amazing time. And he was talking about his album Lao and was saying like, it's probably one of the greatest albums of all time. And I was like, it probably is, yeah. And knowing David Bowie, like I do with his album Lao, I just think, he's just done something so amazing. I mean, I was like, look, this is like an experience here. And he was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, do you mind like coming with me to pick up some more beer? He said to me, do you want to come with me to pick up some beers? We need to get beer. He was a big beer drinker. No one knows that about Bowie. Big beer drinker. Huge beer drinker.
Wouldn't have thought it.
Yeah, and he used to wear like a gusset for the most part. He had really a big beer belly going on. And we went in the car and as we were going, I was driving and I crashed it and it was really bad. And I was like, oh God, I keep doing this. And he was like, yeah, you're always crashing in the same car. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I am, aren't I? Because it's my car. It's my car, David. I'm crashing in the same car because it's my car. It's not very bright. And then apparently it inspired his track on this album of Be My Wife.
Which, I mean, that's remarkable because actually, I don't know if you're aware, but there's a song on the album called Always Crashing in the Same Car. So you'd have thought that he'd have taken that incident and inspired that song, but he's
just stolen it.
Be My Wife.
Well, he's just... Oh, I don't know. Has he taken a song?
Well, I mean, it's not... He's said the words, not stolen the song.
Sorry, I'm shocked. Absolutely shocked. I have to give him a call. Well, I have to sort this out.
Well, I don't know if you've heard.
What's that?
I mean, you can't call him anymore.
Well, I can. I've got my Ahoy 5000. I can call him right now.
But I mean, you won't get through to him.
Look, Dan, this is our spot. We will get through because it's got 2G signal coverage. And
yeah, but no, I'm not. It's not the Ahoy. It's not the product. He won't answer. He won't speak to you.
Why not? Is this because of the time with... Look, he knew what he was doing. I knew what I was doing. Okay? I'm going to get David on the phone. Have you got his number?
I'm going to have to tell you out. Look, he's dead. David Bowie is dead. In a box.
Oh my God.
In a hole.
He's dead and he didn't even tell me.
I mean, it just happened 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
My God. So how am I supposed to get the royalties to this song? I would give this about, I would say 35 spins if I could.
Well, we can't because 5 spins.
But I can't, you're right, I can't give it 35 spins. I'm going to give it 2 spins because David Bowie fucked me over.
I think it's interesting that he was saying to you at the party that it was his best album. And if anything, that is the part of the story that makes me doubt it the most because it's his worst album.
This is an all-time classic, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you pick the albums that we're going to discuss, and you've picked this. I think it was a mistake. I think you should have picked Ziggy Stardust. That's obviously the best album. That's the David Bowie album.
You said it was Ziggy Stardust.
Well, it's by Ziggy Stardust.
So it's not a David Bowie album?
By David Bowie. By David.
Who's it? What album? What album is it called? What's the name of the album?
Ziggy Stardust. And Ziggy Stardust and David Bowie.
Right, so Ziggy Stardust is...
David Bowie.
Is David Bowie.
Yes.
So that's his real name?
Yes. David Bowie is his real name, and he
David
created...
Bowie. So
he became Ziggy Stardust.
Right, okay.
He effectively became and was, and it took over his life for a while.
Right.
And while he was Ziggy Stardust, he did the album Ziggy Stardust.
Self-titled album.
Exactly, yeah. Self-titled by Ziggy Stardust.
Right.
And that's his best album because he's really rocking and a rolling. He's got all that sexy glam rock sheen to him. Oh, he's so androgynous. I don't know if he's a man or a woman. Does he fuck a boy? I don't know. Maybe a girl. By this point, something's gone horribly, horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. He works with Brian Owen, and he's the producer. And he, I think, brings some very silly ideas really that don't really work. And it really clips the wings of your poor David on this album.
Well, I've never heard of this Ziggy Stardust thing. All I know is that in 2003, after I just released one of the best albums of my entire career, I was reading Rolling Stone.
Which album was that?
And it doesn't matter which album. And it was going over the 500 greatest albums of all time. And obviously I went to number 1.
Yeah.
Thinking I was there already. It hadn't even been released yet, but I thought maybe I'd made it onto number 1. It wasn't there. Well, in fact, I was in another 500, so I don't know. It was a clinical error. And then as I got halfway through, I saw this album, and that's, it made 249 of the 500 greatest albums of all time.
Yeah, well, that's why what we're bringing to this show for our listeners is we pick the best albums from years of, I've got a massive collection of records and I pick the best, and I don't just go and just parrot what Rolling Stone
I have got a bigger collection
Mojo, a bigger collection of MP3s.
I've got the Spots. I've got Spots, and it has everything on it.
I'm sorry that you've got Spots.
No, you go
I didn't
onto,
know it's
no, it's not. It's not. No, it's the title. You go onto the web. You go on the web, right, and then you type in what you want on Spots, and it comes up. And then you listen to it, and it's got everything, so it beats yours.
Yeah, but you
hands down.
But then you don't.
Well, what have I got?
You haven't got anything. You've got a computer.
What have you got?
Well, I've got the.
What if I burned your records? Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't do that. Well, that wouldn't happen.
But if you burnt my computer, I've still got it. But if I burnt your records,
yeah. But if there's a post-apocalyptic disaster,
then
your Spot,
I would still have it.
They'll be gone.
Why would they be gone?
Because the web would get burnt
Well, it doesn't.
The atomic
it's
bombs.
Nothing. It's like it's in the air. The web's in the air, isn't it?
Well, no, because it's
not a physical thing. A physical thing is going to get destroyed.
That's why it's called the web.
Yeah, but it's not an actual web, is it? It's like clouds and stuff now, isn't it?
Well, the clouds will, be polluted by acid rain. The web will be destroyed.
I think your records would go before that.
Well, the record industry, they would have something to say about that because they're actually very durable.
Right.
They're very durable and they've lasted all these years and now they're coming back.
They're
your spots are going down. No one wants that shit anymore. It sounds crap. And
it's the eco-friendly option rather than having bits of plastic and plastic. It gets wrapped in plastic and it gets, on trucks sent everywhere. And you think that's the best way? Huh? No, we're going to go into this post-Brexit apocalyptic nightmare. If it goes the way that, the lefties want it to go, that's what's going to happen. And it'll be down to people like you and your records.
Look, if an orca has to choke so I can listen to Ziggy Stardust in full shine fidelity.
You're listening to Low.
I'm not listening to Low. It's no good. It's Brian brain music and it's just silly. And let's rock and roll with Ziggy.
Right, well, I'll tell you what. You would love...
One spin.
If you don't want to get spots... and you have it on your phone, you'll be I can tell you now for a fact that the Ahoy 5000 has no web access, and so you won't be able to get spots on your phone. So it's perfect for someone like you.
Ahoy, I will. Well, but it's got too many buttons.
It's not too. It's not. What's wrong with you? It's not too many, but it's the oh my god! It's 20 buttons, and each one it's 1 to 20. You know how you get your normal telephone. Well, it's all just
9
glass
buttons
now, but you have, and it's got 9 and maybe like a 0 and a star and a dash or whatever. Yeah. So really, it's like 11 buttons. The Ahoy 5000 gives you an extra 8 buttons.
It's too much. Too much to. Talk about always crashing in your same car. One spin. I think you've given it 1 spin.
I know what I'm giving it. Yeah, I'll give it 1 spin. Yeah. Right. Thanks for listening today, David Bowie, Lau.
Yeah, don't bother. Just Ziggy. Play Ziggy.
Listen, you decide what you want to
rock
listen
and roll.
to.